My name is Maya, I'm a college counselor, and today I'm going to answer the question, are college admissions random? A lot of the time, college admissions seem pretty random. We all know someone who got into Yale for no particular reason that we can understand. Probably we're just not getting the whole story. I've had some pretty random things happen with students I've worked with, like one student who was denied admission at UCI, UCSB, UC Davis, UC San Diego, and then was waitlisted at UC Berkeley. That's not how it's supposed to work, right? Like, Berkeley's supposed to be the hard one. But are college admissions actually random? Are they basically a lottery where you can up your chances at getting into an Ivy by applying to all of them? We hear statistics like Yale's admissions rate is 6%, which makes it sound like if you apply, you have a 6% chance of getting in. I think most people know on an objective level that no, it's not random, it's not a lottery, or else we wouldn't be so focused on getting perfect grades, getting the perfect test scores, figuring out the right combination of the ideal extracurriculars. But I still see that feeling of randomness influence a lot of people as they make decisions about their college applications. I see this from students, but I actually most often see this from parents who will say something like, why not just throw in a few more applications? Let's just add MIT, Harvard, Cornell, Princeton, and Yale. It can't hurt. You never know. So this is the thing, we do know. It's not complete chance. For a small number of students, this is true. They are very competitive for highly selective colleges, and adding a few more to their list might increase their chances of getting in. This is a kind of harsh reality, but the problem is a lot more people think they or their children are in that small group than actually are. Just to be clear, college admissions are absolutely not random, but there absolutely is an element of randomness to the process. If you're applying to a lot of colleges that are good target schools for you, you're going to get into some and not to others, and it's going to seem pretty arbitrary. There are often weird things that happen where I have a student get into a college that they shouldn't have and get denied by a college that seemed like a great fit. Any counselor is going to say that they have this experience. But there absolutely is an overarching system to who gets in where. The reason I'm so adamant about this is that I think the belief that college admissions are random, even if you kind of know that they aren't, can cause a lot of harm. Let's take that hypothetical parent who wants to add MIT, Harvard, Cornell, Princeton, and Yale to a student's list. MIT has its own entire application and essays. Cornell has a 650-word essay about why you want to attend Cornell. Yale has a short essay about why you want to attend Yale, a short essay about why you want to study your major, 4 short take questions, and 2 more 250-word essays. I think a lot of people just don't realize how much work it is to apply to a college. To write a good Why Cornell essay, a student's going to have to do a lot of research on what Cornell has to offer and how their background would be a good fit at Cornell. You can't just send in an extra app. So when I have a parent say it can't hurt, when I know that based on the data, a student is not going to get into these colleges, I just see them putting in all of this extra work when in the end they're just going to end up being disappointed. For some colleges, I'll advise a little differently. If you're applying to the UCs, it's literally not any extra work to add UCLA or UC Berkeley to the list. So in that case, if you have the money for the application fee, yeah, sure, just go ahead and apply. And I don't mean to discourage anyone from applying to their dream schools. If you have your heart set on a very selective college, and you know that if you don't apply, you will always regret not knowing whether or not you would have gotten in, then you should do it, 100%. This is not the video for you. You should go for it. This is a video for the people who say, I should apply to all the Ivies because that will raise my chances of getting into one of them. And that is only true for a very small number of people. Let's consider 3 hypothetical students to investigate this idea. Student X has straight A's, has taken 12 AP classes, has a 1590 SAT score, is president of multiple clubs, captain of the croquet team, and has spent the last 2 years working with a professor at a local university on developing an AI robot that is a personal healthcare companion. Student Y has nearly all A's, mostly AP classes, and a 1500 SAT score. Their academic profile doesn't look that different from student X. They've also spent 100 hours volunteering at a local senior center, played tennis for all 4 years of high school, and attended a prestigious STEM summer program. Student Z has a mix of A's and B's and a couple C's from sophomore year. They have a 1350 SAT score. They belong to a couple clubs at school, and every month they volunteer at a local food bank. Student X may benefit from adding some additional Ivies. They have a very standout application, and there is a degree of randomness to the process. So in the effort to create a well-balanced class, some colleges might admit student X and other colleges might not. Student Y is the group I worry about most. They are qualified and they would almost certainly be successful at a highly selective college. But I worry because I think that they think that the chances are higher than they are. They think they're a student X. And there is good reason for them to think so. Historically, not even that long ago, when college admissions weren't quite as competitive, they would have had a really good shot at getting into some of these colleges. I think this is especially confusing for parents who may have attended a college when admissions rates were much higher, and they very logically, maybe even unconsciously, will assume that their child has the same chance of getting in that they did. Working with these students can be hard because I'll see them work so hard on their applications, and there's nothing wrong with them. It's possible that a college might find something in the applications that they want and admit them. But based on my experience, I know that they really don't have the profile they need to get into these very selective colleges, and working on those 8 extra applications is just going to be really exhausting and discouraging. Generally speaking, these are also essentially wonderful students who could get into many colleges, and it's just that either they or their parents have gotten overly focused on the Ivy League brand name. And then there are students like Z who seem to think that if they just buy the lottery ticket, then they have a chance. And it's just not going to happen. It's hard to say this to someone because it's not what anyone wants to hear. Sorry, you're not getting into Harvard. This is a waste of time. But I feel like a lot of the time the student actually knows this, and it's really the parent who's pushing for that extra application. And it's all stemming from this feeling that maybe admissions are just random, but they're not. And you need to make the right decision for yourself and for your kids, and use all of your time and effort strategically. There is a good college for every student, and that college may not be Harvard, but that's fine. So in conclusion, college admissions are not random. College admissions is also not a judgment on who you are or your life as a whole. If your life goal is to get into Harvard, you really need to ask yourself why that is. When I was in high school, I really thought that where I got into college was like a verdict on whether or not I was a worthwhile person. And in retrospect, that was really not a healthy way of thinking. Your worth as a person is not determined by the college that you go to. Your ability to pursue your dreams or have a successful career is not determined by the college that you go to either. As you pick the colleges you're going to apply to, try as best you can to make a realistic and rational assessment of where the best place is to put in your time and effort. Make sure that you have a balanced college list, and almost certainly you will have great results and a great path for your future. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you understand that there can be randomness to college admissions, but that still doesn't mean that college admissions are random. Please feel free to leave any questions in the comments, and like and subscribe for future videos on the college admissions process.